जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
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 जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
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 यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन।
यमुना तीरावनचारी।
यमुना तीरावनचारी।
यमुना तीरावनचारी।
यमुना तीरावनचारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
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 हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
जय राधा रस बिहारी, राधा रस बिहारी, राधा रस बिहारी श्री राधे।
जय राधा रस बिहारी, राधा रस बिहारी श्री राधे।
प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद।
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद।
निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल।
निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल।
निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत शिष्य मध्य डिवाइन ग्रेस से भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय।
इस्कॉन नृत्यकौंडराचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय।
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय।
रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की
जय।
श्री श्री राधा रास बिहारी भगवान की जय। श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जी की जय। श्री श्री गौरनिताय भगवान की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, canto number 1, chapter number 2, entitled as Divinity and Divine Service, and the text number 16. Very wonderful and beautiful verse. शुश्रूषुः श्रद्धानस्य
शुश्रूषो सद्दधानस्य
वासुदेव कथा रुचि
वासुदेव कथा रुचि
स्यान्महत्सेवया विप्रा
स्यान्महत्सेवया विप्रा
पुण्यतीर्थ निषेवणा
पुण्यतीर्थ निषेवना
शुश्रूषो श्रद्धानस्य
शुश्रूषो सद्दधानस्य
वासुदेव कथा रुचि
वासुदेव कथा रुचि
स्यान्महत्सेवया विप्रा
स्यान्महत्सेवया विप्रा
पुण्यतीर्थ निषेवणा
पुण्यतीर्थ निषेवना
शुश्रूषोः श्रद्धानस्य
शुश्रूषो सद्दधानस्य
वासुदेव कथा रुचिः
वासुदेव कथा रुचिः
स्यान्महत्सेवया विप्रा
स्यान्महत्सेवया विप्रा
पुण्यतीर्थ निषेवना
पुण्यतीर्थ निषेवनात् शुश्रूषो सद्दधानस्य
शुश्रूषो श्रद्धानस्य
वासुदेव कथा रुचिः
वासुदेव कथा रुचिः
स्यान्महत्सेवया विप्रा
स्यान्महत्सेवया विप्रा
पुण्यतीर्थ निषेवनात्
पुण्यतीर्थ निषेवणात्
शुश्रूषो श्रद्धानस्य
शुश्रूषो सद्दधानस्य
वासुदेव कथा रुचि
वासुदेव कथा रुचिः
सेवया विप्र
स्यान्महत्सेवया विप्रा
पुण्यतीर्थि निषेवणा
पुण्यतीर्थ निषेवनात्.
Word to word translation. Shushrusho,
शुश्रूषो
one who is engaged in hearing.
one is engaged in hearing.
Shraddhanasya,
Shraddhanasya
with care and attention.
with care and attention.
Vasudeva,
Vasudeva
in respect to
in
Vasudeva.
respect to Vasudeva.
Katha,
Katha
the message.
the message.
Ruchihi,
Ruchihi
affinity.
affinity.
Sa
Syar
is made possible.
is made possible.
Mahat Sevaya,
Mahatsevaya
by service rendered to pure devotees.
by service rendered to pure devotees.
Vipraha,
Vipraha
or twice
or
born.
twice born.
Punyatirtha,
Punyatirtha
those who are cleansed of all vice.
those who are cleansed of all vice.
Nishevana,
Nishevanat
by service.
by service.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Translation. O twice born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the messages of Vasudeva. Purport. The conditional life of a living being is caused by his revolting against the Lord. There are men called Deva or godly living beings, and there are men called Asuras or demons who are against the authority of the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, a vivid description of the Asuras is given, in which it is said that the Asuras are put into lower and lower states of ignorance, life after life, and so sink to the lower animal forms and have no information of the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead. These Asuras are gradually rectified to God consciousness by the mercy of the Lord's liberated servitors or servitors in different countries according to the supreme will. Such devotees of God are very confidential associates of the Lord, and when they come to save human society from the dangers of godlessness, they are known as the powerful incarnations of the Lord, as sons of the Lord, as servants of the Lord, or the associates of the Lord. But none of them falsely claims to be the God themselves. This is a blasphemy declared by the Asuras, and the demonic followers of such Asuras also accept pretenders as God or his incarnation. In the revealed scriptures, there is definite information of incarnation of God. No one should be accepted as God or incarnation of God unless he is confirmed by the revealed scriptures. The servant of God are to be respected as God by the devotees who actually went to back to Godhead. Such servants of the God are called Mahatmas or Tirthas, and they preach according to particular time and place. The servants of God urge people to become devotees of the Lord. They never tolerate being called God. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was God himself according to the incarnations of revealed scriptures, but he played the part of a devotee. People who knew him to be God addressed him as God, but he is used to block his ears with his hands and chant the name of Lord Vishnu. He strongly protested against being called God, although undoubtedly he was God himself. The Lord behaved so to warn us against unscrupulous men who takes pleasure in being addressed as God. The servants of God come to propagate God consciousness, and intelligent people should cooperate with them in every respect. By serving the servant of God, one can please the God more than by directly serving the Lord. The Lord is more pleased when he sees that his servants are properly respected, because such servants risk everything for the service of the Lord and so are very dear to the Lord. The Lord declares in Bhagavad Gita 18.69 that no one is dearer to him than one who risks everything to preach his glory. By serving the servants of the Lord, one gradually gets the quality of such servants, and thus one becomes qualified to hear the glories of God. The eagerness to hear about God is the first qualification of a devotee eligible for entering the kingdom of God. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam Manudeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamshta Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jaganpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devyai Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you, the virtual and physical, both the devotees, for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. And as I told you, this particular series of verses are actually really wonderful verses, and they give a lot of insights for the devotional service. So now, in the 9 processes of devotional service, the first and most important emphasis is given on Shravana, hearing the Supreme Personality of Godhead's pastimes or hearing His holy name. So that's very important. This hearing aspect in life of a devotee is the most important aspect, because the knowledge is taken through ears. When somebody goes to the dham, just like some of the devotees, they are going to Pandharpur dham, and after that some of the devotees will be going for Vrindavan dham. So most of the time devotees or the guides or those who are taking us to the dham, they tell us, don't try to see dham through your eyes. Their charma chakshu, what they can see is only externals of the dham. But in order to see the dham in particular way, as its full glories are there, one has to see dham through his ears or her ears. Then and then only dham will get revealed. So for each and every aspect, the hearing or the ears are very important. Just like people nowadays, most of the time they are behind earning. They wants to earn. They wants to earn glory. They wants to earn name. They wants to earn fame. They wants to earn money. They wants to earn opulences. So nobody is behind learning. That I want to learn something in my life which will be beneficial even throughout my life or the next life. So it's very less actually. Whatever comes in due course of time, in order to have earning, then that's called as a learning. I learned in a school because I want to earn after that time. So most important emphasis is given on earning, and in due course of that earning process, whatever comes and I learn from my life, that is what my learning is. Nobody gives special time for exclusive learning, especially the adhyatmic or the spiritual knowledge. So if you see the spellings of earning and learning, there is only one alphabet missing. That is L. And that L is to listen. Listening from the authoritative sources, listening from the revealed scriptures, listening from those who have that wisdom and experience and realizations within their life. So if we give that oral reception to that hearing, then our life will be more sublime, our life will be more experienced. Most of the time people say, oh, the realization comes in the life after experiencing certain things. I have seen more winters and summers than you. So not all the people has to see all the kinds of winters and summers and rainy seasons. Even if a person who got enough of realization in his or her life, if we try to hear from those people, whatever their realizations, whatever their wisdom is there, without much effort it comes into our life. Just like Vyasadeva, he has gone through so many revealed scriptures, he has written all the scriptures, so he has that knowledge. Now he is saying that Srimad Bhagavatam is the ultimate Purana. Yasvanubhavam akhilam shutisaramekam adhyatma deepam atitirshatabtamo andham samsarinam karunaya puranaviyam tam vyasashunu upayami gurum munina. So Shukadeva Goswami has given this revealed scripture by understanding yasva anubhavam, by his own understanding. So if something is getting in our life which is like in a ready-made, why to do extra efforts and extra endeavors to learn the same things again and again? That's a very kind of a low understanding or low intelligent person. Now it's like somebody has already gone through 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. What is the use of wasting our time and energy behind it? Is it 1 plus 1 is equal to 2? Why it is not 3? Or just learn it. It is already given to you. So in Adhyatmika Jagat, in Adhyatmika knowledge also, if something is given by the authoritative acharyas, realized souls and devotees, we should learn it as it is. There are 4 kinds of intelligent people in this world. The first type of intelligent people, they just listen and they learn the things. The second type of intelligent people, they listen but they don't believe. They want to see it through their eyes. So when they see, they believe. The third type of intelligent people, they listen, they don't believe. They see, they don't believe. They want to experience it. Right? That type of people are third type of intelligent people. And the fourth type of intelligent people are there. They listen, they don't believe. They see, they don't believe. they experience, still they don't believe. हम तो नहीं सुधरेंगे. That kind of a people are four type of intelligent. Now it is in our hand what type of intelligent people we want to be, even in the material life and even in the spiritual life. The first class intelligent people just listens from the authoritative sources. By Shabda Praman, he takes his knowledge. Now Shravanam has given that much importance in our life. The first avayava, first indriya, or first sense which starts functioning is an ear. Now when child comes, he just looks wherever is there a sound, that child starts looking at it. So his ears are very strong. Even in the garbha of a woman, the child's ears are very strong. That's why Abhimanyu, he learned it within the womb of Subhadramaya. Prahlada Maharaj, he learned in the womb of Kayadu, right? And then they came out and then they started following the devotional service. So ears are that strong. Even at the time of death, the last sense which stops working is a ear, actually. So that's why whenever a person is lying on the deathbed, people come near to him, Dadaji, आपका नाना का फूफा के बेटे के पताऊ के चाचा का बच्चा आया है. So that is how senses works. So ears, which is given by Krishna, has been a most important function in a spiritual life. So in order to have, we have ears, we learn, we see, we hear so many things through our ears. यहाँ पे आंदोलन हुआ, वहाँ पे झगड़ा हुआ, यहाँ का न्यूज़, वहाँ का डेली सोप सीरियल, ये सीरियल, वो मूवी, वो सब हम ईयर से सुन के, फिर गणपति के टाइम पे भी बहुत सारे बॉलीवुड सॉन्ग्स आते हैं और उसमें बेंजो के ऊपर भी अगर बजते, ढोल ताशे के ऊपर, तो क्या हाँ ये तो वो सॉन्ग है करके, because we have learned it through our ears, so that gets revealed. Oh, this is that song. The music belongs to this song, right? So in spiritual life, Shravanam has given an importance that in life we have to give our oral reception to Krishna Katha and Krishna now. But many times it happens that whenever we are in initial days of our spiritual life, we don't have that much interest in hearing the holy name of the Lord. Now we are almost 332 followers of the WhatsApp channel, but there are only 8 to 9 devotees who regularly hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Why is it so? Because it's very difficult. Of course, many devotees has their own busy schedules are there. But rarely people open up YouTube or any kind of a links to hear that Srimad Bhagavat Katha. It's very rare. So, for the most of the living entities in Kali Yuga, to have attraction towards Krishna Katha is very rare. But if somebody is very sincere and if he or she wants to develop that attachment, develop that asakti, develop that attraction and interest in hearing the holy name of the Lord, then this particular verse is actually the key for that interest and for that affection and attraction towards holy name. That is what? Serving the devotee of the Lord. If somebody serves the devotee of the Lord who is a pure devotee and free from all kind of malas, the lust, anger, pride, greed, envy, illusion, then that person will get taste in hearing Krishna Katha and Krishna Nam. So, in spiritual life it is said, chanting of the holy name is actually the advancement in devotional service depends on chanting of the holy name. 99% of advancement in devotional service depends on our chanting. Then what is about the 1%? That 1% is actually service. How sincerely we do our prescribed regular services, and especially services to the devotees of the Lord. Now, this 99% is okay, that it gives a boost to our devotional service and our advancement is 99% or dependent on japa. But that 99% of japa, how it is going to happen, how our interest is going to be awakened into that chanting of holy name, that will be decided by that 1% of service. That 99% of advancement is dependent on chanting, and that chanting's interest is dependent on the service. So that's why that 1% is also very important in our life. Many times, अरे प्रभु जी सेवा क्या दे रहे हो, मेरा तो जपा बाकी, देखो ना कितनी माला बाकी है प्रभु जी. And what is the meaning of Hare Krishna Mahamantra? That you are telling Krishna that try to engage me in your devotional service, and whenever service on its own coming to your life, you are giving excuses. I am chanting, Prabhu, let me chant my holy name, and then I will try to serve. And then सेवा आती है ना, जैसे ही पता चलता है सामने से मैनेजर, टेम्पल कमांडर, टेम्पल प्रेसिडेंट, टेम्पल वाइस प्रेसिडेंट इज कमिंग राइट नाउ एंड ही इज वेरी एक्सपर्ट इन गिविंग द सर्विस, ऐसा कल्टी मार लेते हैं. सर्विस मत दो. If prasadam is there, then that's okay. I will eat that. But don't try to give me any service. Prabhu ji, service kya de rahe ho? Like that, you know. So that's very unfortunate that living entities are so alasi, so lazy bums that they don't want to do the devotional service. Srila Prabhupada, when he translated bhakti into English language, he didn't translate it as a devotion towards Krishna. He purposefully write it devotional service towards Krishna. So devotion in the heart will arise only if we do certain service. Like a husband and wife, they get married to each other. Just by getting married, it doesn't happen that there will be love between them. मैं अपने कमरे में, तू अपने कमरे में, तू अपनी जगह पे, मैं अपनी जगह पे. हाँ, शादी हो गई, हाँ हो गई, उसके बाद कुछ नहीं, वो अपनी जगह पे, मैं अपनी जगह पे. But when husband tries to serve wife financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, and wife tries to serve her husband very nicely with just affection and love, that service makes their bond very strong, their love very strong. So if you want to have a relationship with some person, you have to serve that person with any kind of other hetu or a motto. And when there is a selfless service, then people love you. Why there are so many patriotic persons loved by the countrymen? Because they served selflessly. Why there are certain sadhus which are loved by most of the devotees? Because they serve selflessly. There are certain politicians or philanthropists, they are loved by the samaj or the society. Why? Because they serve selflessly. So when there is a selfless service, there is a relationship, there is a bonding, and there is a love between us. So in order to love Krishna, chanting is our service, definitely. But there has to be certain physical element of a service also. Practical service has to be there. Just by sitting and chanting will not give that much love and interest in the chanting of the holy name. In order to do that, we have to do certain kind of a physical service. Either a deity worship, either a jhadu pocha, either making the wicks, cooking for the Lord, chanting the holy, coming and doing kirtan for the Lord. These are all what the active services are there. Whenever there is a festival, backup services, juice making services, and then we will be requiring to do that. Okay. Because we are having Radhashtami on Sunday, and His Grace Rupa Vilas Prabhu, very wonderful and very senior devotee, sweet like ice cream. Yeah, his shop is there, Gopal ice cream. So very wonderful ice cream. Actually, I love those ice cream. So Prabhuji is coming to give us his association on Sunday. We will be speaking on Shri Radharani, and we will be having a Abhishek of Shri Radha and Krishna. Small Abhishek, not like a Janmashtami Abhishek, but little Abhishek will be there. So it's like we say now, home celebration. So we're going to have a home celebration. So Shravanam is that much important in our life that when we serve, Shravanam is important, and in order to have that interest in Shravanam, we should serve the devotees of the Lord, we should serve the temples, and we should do some kind of an active service. Otherwise, our chanting will soon become a very mechanical process. सुबह उठे, हाथ में माला लिया, हरे कृष्णा हरे रामा जय जय श्री राधे श्यामा करते हुए 16 माला somehow or other I chanted and I kept it. हो गया, बाप रे. No, the burden has been down now. So that kind of a mentality will strikes. Because the service in Krishna consciousness, the active and especially the humble menial service in Krishna consciousness makes our heart very fertile, makes our heart very humble, where the Bhakti Lata Pich grows. If somebody wants to be very sincere in devotional service and wants that the Krishna Prema, that Lata should grow in my heart, he has to plow that heart with the humble menial service. Doing jhadu pocha, cleaning the toilets, and serving whatever the small amount of prasadam is there, not having a reservations, mere liye baki rahega ki nahi karke, like that. Freely, whatever is given the quantity by the authority, serving that simple prasadam, doing backup services, doing wind-up services. That kind of a humble menial service will make your heart so soft. You will make a heart such a fertile that Bhakti Lata Bija will grow so nicely. Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnunam Amanena Manadena Kirtaniya Sada. So that is a key point, to have that devotion into the heart of a sadhaka. So that's why the active devotional service and the Shravanam is very important for us. So that bhava we have to achieve in our life. In previous verse we have seen Srila Prabhupada was talking about the karma and jnana. So karma and jnana, somebody might be very exclusive, like I have special interest in Srimad, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, reading. So just by reading all those type of scriptures, you will get a lot of jnana. But in order to digest that jnana, there has to be a achyuta bhava. And that achyuta bhava will be developed by the active service towards Krishna and his devotees. When the devotees are served, Krishna becomes more happy. Krishna is very happy when we serve him directly, but when his devotees are properly treated by us, when his devotees are properly taken care by us, when their service towards his devotees is done by us very nicely, Krishna becomes more happy. That's why when Durvasa Muni approached Lord Narayana in Vaikuntha planet, there is no Kuntha. But still, Durvasa Muni found out that miserable situation even in Vaikuntha. Why is it so? Because he has offended a devotee. So if somebody offends a devotee, somebody blasphemes a devotee, somebody does some kind of an ill towards devotee, having that political mindedness, having that skeptical mentality, a kind of a hypocritic mentality towards the devotee, even if that person gets a Vaikuntha, he will never be happy. Srila Prabhupada used to say that my temples are not different than a Vaikuntha. So even if a person coming to the ISKCON temple with such kind of a mentality, a political, blasphemous and criticizing mentality towards his devotee, even if he stays in the altar in nearest capacity of the Lord, he will never be happy, even in the temple, even in the altar. Why? Because of that mentality of blaspheming a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But in order to, if somebody, some devotee, is just doing a simple jhadu pocha, but with a very kind of a service mentality and having all due respects towards the devotee, that person will become more eligible to go back home, back to Godhead, than one who is serving as a pujari or a head pujari to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the difference. Devotees are very important to the Supreme Personality of God. Just like when we go outside in the summer season, there is a lot of heat in the atmosphere. So many times we go barehead. It doesn't, there is a scorching heat. It feels little bit uncomfortable, but that's not that much uncomfortable when it comes on your head. But what if you don't have shoes or chappals in your lotus feet. All lotus feet are lotus. Okay. So on your feet and the charcoal road, you have to walk on that charcoal road. How many times you are able to tolerate it? It's unbearable actually. You can tolerate heat on your head, but you cannot tolerate heat on your feet. The devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead stays at the lotus feet of the Lord. And whenever we offend the Supreme Personality of Godhead's devotees, that's like a scorching heat at the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. Lotus feet. And Krishna won't tolerate it. He can tolerate an offense towards him. That's like a heat on his head. Sometimes he can tolerate it. It's okay. No worries about it. He tolerated it 100 times for the Shishupala. But a single offense done by Jagai Madhai at the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu is not tolerated by him. Devananda Pandit not even did any kind of an offense, but the people who were blaspheming Srivas Thakur, he didn't say anything to them. That's why Devananda Pandit has to suffer a little bit. He has to go through inconveniences. Gopal Chapal has to go through inconveniences because he offended Srivas Thakur. Right? So, Krishna won't tolerate any single offense towards his devotees. But if somebody tries to worship his devotees, Krishna becomes very happy. When Jagadananda offered his obeisances to Nityananda Prabhu, Turant, at that same moment, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him Krishna. But he didn't give it to Madhavananda because he didn't surrender towards the Nityananda Prabhu. Right? So whenever we take the shelter of Lord's devotees, Lord becomes more merciful towards us. That's why more than Krishna, we take shelter of Srimati Radharani. Or more than even a Krishna or Srimati Radharani, we take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Or more than Radha, Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu. Or more than Krishna, Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, we take shelter of Srila Prabhupada. Because mercy flows more. As we come lower in our devotion, in our Guru Parampara, the mercy flows more and more. So that's why Srila Prabhupada's mercy is more, and we can serve Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is not there physically, Prabhu. How I can serve Srila Prabhupada? Srila Prabhupada's parshals are there. By following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, by following whatever he has written into his books, he has given all his instructions in his books, and his disciples who are functioning as a spiritual master for all of us, they have given their instructions and their advices in their books as well as their lectures. So if we read, if we hear, we will come to know what are the instructions, what are the moods of our spiritual masters and Srila Prabhupada. And if we try to act according to those advices and according to that instructions, naturally we are serving them. It's not only that we are serving by vapu. If a person is present physically in front of us, then and then only, Prabhuji prasad khaiye na, Prabhuji khichdi khaiye na, Prabhuji aapke liye main kapda दूं क्या, Prabhuji aapke liye main paisa दूं क्या. That is okay when physically it is present. But even if person is not physically present in front of us, we can serve that person by serving his Vani. In our devotional service, in our parampara, we give more emphasis on Vani, because especially as ISKCON is growing more and more throughout the earthly planet, most of our spiritual master doesn't have that much time that they will give a special time to their devotee. 10,000 disciples and 20,000 disciples, so it becomes very difficult, right? So how can we serve our spiritual masters? By serving their Vani. Whatever the instructions, whatever mood they have set up through their lectures, we have to hear them. Shushru Shuhu. We have to hear them. And by hearing also we are serving them. But simultaneously, no, मैं तो मेरे घर पे रह के एक लेक्चर सुन लेता हूँ. In that way I am doing devotional service. I am serving the Guru Parampara. There has to be physical service also. See, if your authority is not nearby, whatever the nearby vicinity temple is there, the centers are there, we have to give our physical service there, that humble menial service there. So in that way, it will reach to Krishna, it will reach to Srila Prabhupada, and it will reach to spiritual master, because temple doesn't belong to single person. All the ISKCON temples belongs to Srila Prabhupada. And by serving any temple, any center, we are serving Srila Prabhupada. Okay. Of course, if we have a particular inspiration from any particular person, any particular place, we welcome that person to that particular place. It's not like everybody has to be stuck to that particular place or particular circumstances. No. If somebody is taking inspiration from any faraway place also, but of course physical proximity should be there. But if somebody is very much keen towards some particular personality and is getting lot of inspiration from that personality, you should serve through Vani to that person. No worries about that. But in your physical proximity, we should have certain element of a physical service in our life, and in that way, the heart will become more and more fertile for the devotional service, to hear about the Krishna Katha, to hear the Krishna Nama. So this is what this shloka says. If you want Vasudeva Katha Ruchi, what you have to do? You have to san mahat sevaya vipra. Vipra means what? Not Brahmana. Vipra's meaning is here is a Vaishnava, one who is free from all the malices. Of course, the Vaishnava is more higher than the Brahmana, because Brahmana can be a Karmakandi. But a Vaishnava means is fully surrendered towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's why Vaishnavas are considered more higher than even this, because Vaishnavism doesn't come under this Chaturvarnam Maya Srishta. Vaishnavas are on transcendental platform. The Vaishnava thing is always higher than the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And if somebody serves the devotee of Supreme Personality of Godhead, whoever he may be or she may be, whether he is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, even an animal, or even a Malecha, they are well qualified to be called as a Vaishnava. They are on the platform of a Brahmana. Kirata Hunandra Pulinda Pulkasha Abir Shumbha Yavana Khasadaya Yannecha Papa Yadapashraya Shraya Shuddhanti Tasmai Prabha Vishnave Namaha. If somebody by the blessings of a devotee tries to do the devotional service, by the mercy of that devotee, Prabha Vishnave, by the mercy of that Prabha of a Vishnu, that person, even if he is a Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, even a kind of a very lowly born person, he is elevated on the platform of a Vaishnava. Just we have to serve the devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and in that way we will achieve the ruchi towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead's holy pastimes and the holy name. And in that way we will have our life more sublime and more successful in the devotional service. So next, some of the verses are actually glorification of the Shravanam process, especially the Krishna Katha Shravanam. So I request all of you to come regularly on Zoom, more on, instead of Zoom, if you are physically present, we will be very happy, because it's feel more inspired for us. And if some devotees are in your physical proximity, tell them to be in physical proximity of the Lord also. And otherwise, the Zoom will go back home, back to Godhead. We will stay here. Because what Krishna Katha, which is heard by Zoom, is not heard by any single person in this planet Earth. So thank you very much. This is what I wanted to share with all of you regarding this verse. We will meet tomorrow, same place, same time, same circumstances. Till that time, Hare Krishna.
Same speakers.
Same speaker too.
No problem.
Tantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Nitai Gaura Premanande.
Hare Hare.